What's up, Tripp? I am Frank from France. I kiss you. I wish you the best for your YouTube channel. I love your videos. You make me laugh. You teach me a lot of lessons that needs to be heard from the gay community. This is very inspiring. And you have almost 20K on YouTube. You keep doing better. All I can say is congratulations to you. Congrats. We do the best for you, and I hope 2020 will be your year. And well, that's all I can say. And I love your opening song. This is very good. I like it. I know you see me on the television. I know you see me on the YouTube, but you know me in real life. I like this.
I know you see me on television. I know you see me on YouTube, but you don't know me in real life, little homie. You better play it cool. Never let your left hand know what your right hand finna do, cause they gonna study your every move and try to imitate what you about to do. This here for the gang. I don't rock with you if I ain't feeling you. I've been on top since I started, dog, and I ain't finna move. Yeah.
I know you see me on television. I know you see me on your YouTube, but you don't know me in real life, little homie. You better play it cool.
Never let your left hand know what your right hand finna do, cause they gon' study your every move, trying to imitate what you about to do. This here is the gang. We don't rock with you if I ain't feeling you. I've been on top since I started, dog, and I ain't finna move.
The real deal is Triple Plug. It's the real deal. I know you see me on television. I know you see me on your YouTube, but you don't know me in real life, little homie. You better play it cool. Never let your left hand know what your right hand finna do. They gonna study your every move and try to imitate what you about to do. This right here is the gang, and they don't rock with you if I ain't feeling you. I've been on top since I started, dog, and I ain't finna move. Love you, cousin Tripp.
Triple plug, this the real deal. This triple plug, this the real deal. I know you see me on television. I know you see me on your YouTube, but you don't know me in real life, little homie. You better play it cool. Never let your left hand know what your right hand finna do, cause they gon' study your every move, try to imitate what you about to do. This here is the gang. We don't rock with you if I ain't feeling you. I've been on top since I started, dog, and I ain't finna move.
What's up, YouTube? It's your favorite cousin Tripp, and I'm back with another banger. Pow. That was the 22. It wasn't a chopper. Yeah, but I'm just get on into it. My mama, she was a hoarder. Yeah, a hoarder. I mean, she wasn't like the kind of hoarder that you see on that crazy show with all them people with all that stuff stacked up to the ceiling. She was a snack hoarder. I mean, she had all the snacks right by her bed, sometimes under the bed, beside the bed. I mean, ho-ho, sugar babies, sugar daddies, oatmeal cream pies, a gallon of juice, all by her bed. And you know, when I was young, I thought that she was keeping it there, you know, because she didn't want us to eat it all and run through it before, you know, the next month food stamps came. But she ain't never give us none of it. You know, I come in there and see her munching down on the oatmeal cream pie and be like, "Mama, can I have one?" And she'd say, "No, you know, get your ass out of here." You know, and it's just not fair as a kid for you to hoard all these snacks and keep them away from your kids, you know. And, you know, all we could have was apple. We'd be lucky to get, you know, a little Debbie. You know, she paid for it a little later, you know. One day she had a really bad toothache and she was in pain. And I seen her crying, and you know, I was just a little kid, but in my mind I was like, you know, that's what you get for hoarding all the, you know, snacks away from us. If you would have shared the sweets, you know, then maybe you wouldn't have a toothache right now, you know. But I'm sorry, you know, That's just what I was thinking. I ain't say it, and yeah, it was crazy growing up. My mama was a thug. She was the weed smoking thug. One time I got in trouble, we was on the bus and, we usually ride the bus to go pick up her weed. I knew she was going to pick up weed. You know what I'm saying? I was a smart kid. But this time we rode past the weed man house and I was confused. I thought it was our stop. So when we driving past, I said, Mama, there go your weed man house. We ain't getting off. She told me to shut the F up and, she was embarrassed because people on the bus was looking at her crazy and all of that kind of stuff. So I got on punishment. And I don't really understand why I got put on punishment for telling her that was her weed man house. If you ain't want me to know, you shouldn't have, took me with you to pick up the weed. So it was just kind of crazy. So anytime that I got a chance to go over my cousin's house, I would do it. If we was going over there to visit, I would always ask if I could stay over. And most of the time she said okay. But to be honest, I don't know why I wanted to stay over there either. One of my cousin's house, my oldest aunt, I went over their house and I hope they ain't watching this. They had a whole bunch of roaches. I mean, millions and billions of them. It was like Joe's apartment up there. And I mean, they had so many roaches that the roaches was different races. I ain't lying, brown roaches, Mexican roaches, Filipino and Spanish roaches. I even seen a white roach one time. And I thought that the roach, had got white from crawling through some boric acid. That's what they used to put around, the corners and crevices. But I don't think it worked on the roaches because they never went. I always seen the white border. But I always seen the roaches, and this roach came through crawling and it was white. And this was my first time ever seeing a white roach. So I was fascinated. I went down for a closer look at the roach and yeah, it was white. I don't know why I wanted to go over their house so much. Every time I went over there, I got in trouble from my aunt because my cousin, she used to use us a lot. When we would go over there, she knew she could do some dirt and just blame it on us. Now, it was two things that my aunt always kept in her refrigerator. She kept some bonbons. I don't know if y'all hip to bonbons, them the little chocolate covered ice cream things that you keep in the freezer. It come about 10 or 20 in the little thing. I don't know if they still make them, but she had some bonbons and she kept some Pepsi. Now, Pepsi was the grown-up drink. We wasn't allowed to touch her Pepsi at all. She would get her some Virginia Slims, menthol, and she would get her Pepsi, and, we couldn't touch the Pepsi. But it wasn't nothing else in there for us to drink. Now, I always seen the bonbons in there, and it was a couple times, I went in there and took a bonbon. But, that was just one or two. Somebody went in there and ate all the bonbons, and I think it was my cousin who lived there because she knew that she would get a whooping if the bonbons came up missing. But since I was there, she could blame it on me. And when I went and took a bonbon, it was still a whole bunch left. And by the time I went to go, steal my second bonbon, it was down to 2. So somebody else was eating the bonbons too. And I got in trouble for the bonbons because they said, Teeny, she ain't... she ain't gonna steal. She know better. So you had to do it. So I got in trouble, for taking the bonbons. She used to use us to clean up the house and, try to act like, set up a game to do it. If me and my other cousin would stay over there, she thought we was dumb. So she'd talk about some, we gonna play a game. You gonna be Superman and she gonna be Superwoman and we gonna see who could clean up the fastest. And our little dumbasses, we like, okay, you know, racing around, picking up stuff and all of that stuff, and got the house clean in about a few minutes because we was both trying to win. And I don't know what we won. It didn't win no prize or nothing. You know, it was just a clean house when my auntie came home, you know, and that just pacified the situation until she found out about the bonbons. You know, so I really ain't like staying over there, you know, because my older cousins, they was bullies. You know, one time they jumped me. You know, one held me down and the other one was smashing my face in the couch. You know, it was crazy. You know, but staying over my other aunt's house wasn't no better. Matter of fact, it was worse. And I mean, if y'all don't grow up in the hood, y'all ain't gonna relate to this. You know what I'm saying? This is my family, and I love them to death, but it is what it is, you know. I was close to my cousin, you know, so I would try to spend the night over there sometimes, you know, but they had a bunch of mice. I mean, it was a whole bunch of them. I mean, you can hear them running through the room, and it was just like if you turn off the lights and turn them back on, you in danger. That was my biggest fear, nighttime. You know, I didn't want to go to the bathroom. I stayed in one spot. I stayed covered up with a blanket from my head to my toes because I could hear the rats and mice just squirming around. I'm getting chills now, you know. They was even in the walls and you could hear scratching and all through the night. And I don't know why I would put up with this, you know, just to go visit some raggedy ass cousins. You know, but I loved them, you know, and her brother was a bully, you know. He would always come in there trying to beat her up, and I tried to take up for him, you know, but I couldn't beat him. So it was just like, girl, you just gonna get your ass whooped today. I don't know what to tell you. You know, we'd cry about it and walk to the store later. Yeah, it was rough growing up. I had a gangster family. My grandmama was a gangster. You know, I would go over my grandmama's house and that wasn't no better. She kept on making all these old ass meals and liver and stuffed green peppers. And, you know, don't no little kid want to eat that. You know, and then, you know, we had to sit in front of the TV and take naps. And, you know, when MASH came on, you know, we had to sit up in front of the TV and watch MASH with her. That was the worst 30 minutes of my life. Don't no little kid want to see no MASH. You know, and everything was so structured. You know, wake up, it's lunchtime, it's go outside and playtime, you know, then come back in and, you know, take a nap, then you wake up for dinner, and then right after dinner, you know, you watch MASH and then you go to bed. You know, unless she wanted you to plait her hair. And I ain't know nothing about plaiting no hair. You know, I would stand behind her head with the comb just parting and twisting, and she just used me to, you know, plait her head or twist it or, you know, tangle it or whatever I was doing. You know, but I love my grandma, you know. She was a drinker though, you know. She stayed with a 40, but, you know, she controlled hers most of the time. Now, her live-in boyfriend, they wasn't never married, but we called him Granddaddy. And we knew he wasn't our granddaddy. We just, you know, was trying to be nice, you know, but he was alcoholic. I mean, he drunk Wild Irish Rose, the pints all the time, you know, and didn't nobody really like when he got drunk, but I did. I mean, I liked when he got drunk because then I could, you know, swindle him out of some money so I could go to the candy store. You know, he became real nice to us when he was drunk. But all my aunts and all of them, he called them all bitches and hoes and all types of stuff when he got drunk. They stayed pulling out guns on him. And my grandma would have to fight to try to save him and kick my aunts and them out the house. And, you know, he couldn't fight, but he had a damn strong death grip. I mean, he would grab your arm like this, and you would be trying to break away wasn't no way you could get away. Don't let him grab your arm. You better, once he get that arm, it's a wrap. If he fall, you falling with him. Because, I don't know how he got so strong, but he stayed, with some Wild Irish Rose, and he guzzled it, Turned up the bottle. I used to watch the bottle go down and down and down, and his throat would be like, yeah. It was fun times, when all my aunts got together and they would come over my grandmother's house and play spades, but they all drank, except for my mama. She always had the weed, but they didn't smoke weed, and they would, play cards, and it'd be fun, because they would be busy and they wouldn't be paying attention to us. We could be running all around the house, outside playing and everything, but the spades games always turned into big fights and somebody cussing somebody out. And one time, my aunt, the one with all the roaches, she bougie now, she got a nice home built from the ground, but she don't even want to remember that she used to live like this, but yeah, she pulled out a gun in my grandmother's house and shot up in the ceiling, and they was fighting over the gun, and and it went real crazy. One cousin came over and knocked over a fish tank, and it was just real wild and ratchet, Now I did have one aunt that I really loved, she was the one that found God. She was the religious aunt. And she would come over and, say prayers and rebuke them in the name of Jesus and shake her head and, all types of stuff like that. Now, most of us, when she came over, we knew she was the holy one, so we tried to be nice. But my older aunts, who was older than her, they was like, you the same old person. We gonna still drink and cuss and do all of this stuff. And I just didn't understand why y'all still got to be cussing and doing all that in front of the religious aunt. And that's the reason why she ain't come around that much. But she was beautiful, and she'd come around and sing gospel songs, and she turned every song into a gospel song. She remixed them. So any of your favorite songs, she changed it around and remixed it and turned it into a gospel song, and she could really sing. I really loved her. I spent the night over her house a few times, and God rest her soul. She was real religious. It was a real religious house, but she had a girl that lived with her. I just think they was best friends. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. I don't know. I think they was just good friends. That's the word in the family. They was close friends. It was nice over there, but all we did was read the word and prayed. And I was kind of missing, the ratchetness and the roaches and the rats and stuff, so I only stayed over there every once in a while, had this hood uncle, that was always hustling and doing something in the streets, and everybody was scared of him, One time he tortured my cousin. I guess my cousin went over there and they food stamps came up missing. And now, I don't know if y'all ever had food stamps or whatever. Y'all might try to act like y'all are rich and high and dial and y'all ain't never been through the struggle and all of that kind of stuff. But back in the day, they had these food stamps that came in like a little coupon book. You had your ones, you had your 10s, your 50s, your 20s, and you would tear out, whatever you needed. So I guess they had a couple books of food stamps that came up missing, and they thought my cousin took it. So they terrorized him, and chased him down all around the city. He was running from here to there. He was in hiding. Yeah. My uncle came over there, threatened to kill him, took his radio and all of that kind of stuff. And, I don't think my cousin ever really got over it, He's still, a little timid from it, but it's like, it was wrong for him to do that, you know, especially because he found the food stamps in the washing machine. His wife washed them in a load of clothes, and he never apologized or gave the radio back. You know, that's my family for you. You know, I had the one uncle that was adopted, and he came back in the family acting like he was white and better than everybody and with a jerry curl and, you know, thinking he was fly. And we was just like, bruh, you ain't all that. You know, I think he thought he was Bruce Leroy from, you know, The Last Dragon. And, you know, I read his little yearbook from Boys Town, and under the caption, he said he was from Omaha, Nebraska, or no, he said he was from Jamaica. Hey, you from Cleveland, Ohio. Stop capping. You know, now my favorite aunt, she was the youngest. She was very childish though, but she stayed with a 40 ounce of Old E or Bull, or, you know, and she would come over and play with us, and we would make up songs and go to the park and have a wonderful time. She was really nice to us, but her kids hated her. I mean, I don't know. I wanted her to be my mama, but her daughter hated her guts and stayed running away. You know, they kept her in the living room all day, you know, and well, she was in the room with her man, I guess, and she just got bored and said, you know, I'm out of here, deuces. Ran away to our house, you know. But this cousin, she was cool and all that, you know, but she started a lot of trouble, you know. One time she got kidnapped, and the whole family was looking for her, you know, and when we finally found her, she was over some girl house, you know, who was threatening to keep her. I don't know if she ran away or got kidnapped or whatever the case may be, you know, and the whole family went over there to fight her, you know. My cousin went over there to fight her, and my cousin that was, you know, real tough, and I think she got cut up. Yeah, you know, but yeah, I don't know. You know, this is just what I heard. It was crazy growing up, you know. I wouldn't say I was bad. I just was, you know, not good. You know, one time we had a candy sale at school, you know, and I was real anxious, you know, to sell the candy. You know, and the first time I got my box of candy, my mama took it all. You know, and I guess she wanted the whole box for herself. I told you she hoarded sweets. But, you know, I said, Mama, you got to pay for this candy. You know, this candy ain't free, you know. So she eventually gave me the money, you know, and I turned it in and got another box of candy. But this time I wasn't giving it to my mama because, you know, I had to ask her for the money. And, you know, I didn't know if she was going to come through. And I didn't want to get kicked out of school because my mama took my box of candy. So I said, you know, I'm going to really sell this one. You know, so I went around the neighborhood, and this is when I first learned about hustling, you know, and scamming. You know, it was a white neighborhood. There was a lot of white people in our neighborhood at the time, you know, and I went to their doors and said, you know, I'm selling candy. Some of them bought 2 bars. And, you know, when I was adding that money up and getting that money, I said, I ain't turning this in. I'm keeping this. You know, so I kept the money and never gave the people their candy. I don't know why I did that, but, you know, I'm sure my karma came back to me by now, so I'm back in the clear. But I did something real bad when I was younger. Okay, so it was this white lady that lived next door to us, and she was racist. She was racist. You know, always turning up her nose at us, and she had this little daughter that kept on singing, those little brats, those little brats. And so one day I told my mama that she flicked a cigarette at us, and, you know, threatened to kill us and all of this kind of stuff. And my mama beat her up. And then we had to go to court and we had to prove that she did these things to us. And I lied under oath. She had to go. You know what I'm saying? We don't need no racist lady living next to us. And, you know, I probably saved a whole bunch of kids that she really was going, you know, take out, you know, and slaughter. You know, she was raising a little demon, you know, and I lied, but I lied for a good purpose. And I think the girl got 3 to 5. Look, I already asked God for forgiveness. So don't be judging me in the comments and all of that kind of stuff, you know, because I was a kid, you know, and I really didn't like her. You know, maybe I shouldn't have lied under oath, you know, and I told my brothers the whole story. They stuck with it. And, you know, we was really good at it. You know, they kept asking us the question over and over and over again. And every time we said the same thing, you know, if you're going to lie under oath, just keep it simple. Don't start, you know, giving too much information and, you know, adding stuff to the story. You know, she flicked a cigarette and then she threw a shoe, and the next time she jumped over the fence and then her dog came. You know, you just got to keep it simple. And they'll believe you, you know, and yeah, she went to jail. I was bad. I know it, you know. Stayed running away from home. Sometimes I would go over my cousin's house. You know, she was fast. She was about 16 with a grown man, 21 years old, and they had their own place, and I knew how to get there, you know, and I knew she'd harbor us for the night. So, you know, I said, let's go over there. You know, I didn't know she was going to, you know, call my mama and send us back home the next morning, but, you know, at least we had a place to stay for the night. You know, but needless to say, I stopped running away over there because I wanted to be gone longer than a day, you know. Yeah, I don't know if you grew up with a black family, with a ratchet family who do a whole bunch of things, but to be honest, these was the best times of my life. You know, my family was together. We was always together. We spent Christmases together. We went to the parks. We laughed. We cried. We fought. We was all close. I knew everybody in my family, you know, and no matter how they lived, I loved being there with them. You know what I'm saying? I stayed in there with the rats. I stayed in there with the roaches, you know. Yeah, I laughed at my mama when she got a toothache, you know, but I love her. You know, these was the good old days, you know. And I just reminisce about the good days growing up. And these are bonds that you make with your cousins that's unbreakable. And we wasn't always right. We fought, you know, hard, and we loved even harder. And that's the moral to the story. And that's the reason why I call y'all my cousins, because I really feel like no matter what we go through, we always got each other back. And we about to be in this for a long time, you know. If you got any crazy stories that about your aunts and your cousins, don't try to act like, you know, y'all ain't never had or seen no roach, you know, and maybe y'all grew up in the Cosby house. You know, I don't know. But not me, you know what I'm saying? But it was all love. And I love y'all, and I hope y'all be in prayer, man. I hope y'all staying safe during quarantine. You know, I know some of y'all dying to get out, but I'm telling you, you will be dying if you get out. So keep it safe. You know, I hope y'all still washing y'all hands. You know, what's the dude name? Agent Orange, Trump. He said the Clorox can help clear y'all, you know, so y'all might want to make a good, pour a little bit in your smoothie, you know. Some of y'all, you know, freaks out there, you know, turn in the Clorox wipes, you know, and you can wipe yourself with the Clorox wipes, you know, and just to clear anything that might be on it, you know, put a little bit of Clorox in your douche. When you douching, squeeze it on up in there. And, you know, it'll take away 99.9% of the viruses. It will. Read the pack. It say clears 99.9% of viruses. Don't put too much in it, you know, because you might have a white asshole. Just enough to, you know, get the viruses out, you know, and you'll be good. Do it before and after you go get banged out in the orgy. You know, and like I say, use the baby wipes if you a top after you go raw. You know, you up in there hitting it and all of that stuff. Get yours off and have your Clorox baby wipes. Clorox wipes right there. Wipe off with it. You know, make sure you get in the little pee hole and all of that. And you'll clear, you know, 99% of the viruses that you might have contracted from the person. You know, just don't depend on that thing y'all be taking that everybody say they own but they really not. What's the name of it? Some pill that they take and it's supposed to keep you from getting anything, you know. But like I said, you know, be safe out there. And I love y'all, man, and I'll see y'all next time. And you know, I need y'all to stay around for a while until I get back home. It's for a little while. You know, I need y'all to thumbs up this video, and I need y'all to help me to get to 20K because we going up, baby. It's your favorite cousin Tripp. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and leave a comment. You know what I'm saying? I'm out.